Jason Momoa just did something no one expected, and the internet can't handle it. The rugged, fearless warrior we know from Aquaman and Game of Thrones just shaved off his beard. That's right. For the first time in 6 long years, Jason revealed a clean-shaven face, and within minutes, fans were spiraling. Across social media, one phrase took over: Jason Momoa without beard. But this isn't just about a beard. There's a much deeper story behind the sudden transformation, and it's tied to a massive Hollywood franchise comeback that no one saw coming. It started with a simple Instagram video. Jason stood in front of the camera, trimmer in hand, his expression half amused, half pained. "God damn it. I hate it," he muttered before taking the first swipe across his iconic jawline. You could hear the disbelief in his voice, and fans instantly felt it too. In just moments, the internet exploded. Fans flooded X, formerly Twitter, Instagram and TikTok. Memes popped up faster than you could scroll. Some couldn't recognize him. Others demanded answers. Was this real? Why now? But what most people didn't know was that this makeover was much more than just a style change. Jason didn't shave his beard on a whim. This was no publicity stunt or personal challenge. He was getting into character, for a role that shocked fans when he was first cast, and then devastated them when he was killed off. That's right. Jason Momoa is returning as Duncan Idaho in Dune, Part 3. The same Duncan Idaho who tragically died in the franchise's first installment. So how is he coming back? The beard wasn't just facial hair. It was a visual signal. Jason's transformation was a subtle but powerful message. He's back, and something huge is coming in the Dune universe. And when he said, "Only for you, Dennis," fans knew this was real and it was big. But this wasn't the first time Jason shocked the world by shaving it off. The last time Jason shaved his beard, it was 2019. And guess what? It was also for Dune. Director Denis Villeneuve had a clear vision of who Duncan Idaho was, and it didn't include a beard. Jason later revealed that Denis was actually nervous about asking him to shave. After all, this was the same beard fans had come to associate with Aquaman, Khal Drogo, and every other wild masculine role Momoa had owned. But Jason agreed. Not because he wanted to, but because he trusted the vision. "He had very good reasons," Momoa said. "And I think it's smart." But while that 2019 shave caused a stir, it was nothing compared to the chaos that came in 2022, when fans were tricked into thinking he shaved again. Back in November 2022, the internet exploded with something eerily familiar. Jason Momoa without beard was trending again. But this time it wasn't real. Doctored images spread like wildfire. Photos of a clean-shaven Jason circulated across social media, and fans completely bought it. Some people compared him to Kirstie Alley, while others said he looked like Steve Bannon or Sarah Huckabee Sanders. One tweet went viral saying, "Momoa without his beard? Sorry to all women in advance." It was savage, hilarious, and totally fake. But the response showed just how deeply attached fans were to Jason's beard and his image. So when the real reveal happened in 2025, it hit harder. Because this time it wasn't Photoshop. This time the beard was truly gone. So why does this even matter? Why does the beard hold so much power? For years, Jason's beard has been more than just facial hair. It's been a symbol. It represented his roles as fierce warriors, rebel kings, and untamable heroes. From Aquaman to Frontier to Game of Thrones, the beard was part of the legend. Without it, some fans feel like they're looking at a different person. Some loved the clean-shaven look, calling it refreshing. Others said it was like watching Thor without his hammer. A few even called it heartbreaking. But one thing is clear: no one was indifferent. And that emotional reaction is exactly what makes this next part so exciting. With Jason officially returning to Dune, the clean-shaven look has sent fan theories into overdrive. Duncan Idaho was presumed dead. But in Frank Herbert's original novels, the character is cloned multiple times and continues playing a major role in the story. So, Is Jason's return a flashback? A resurrection? A Gola clone? Fans are desperate for answers, and the speculation is fueling massive buzz for Dune Part 3. Suddenly, one Instagram video turned into a full-blown marketing explosion. And with Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Florence Pugh, and now Jason Momoa returning, the film is already shaping up to be one of the most anticipated releases of 2026. In a world where celebrity news fades fast, Jason Momoa just reminded everyone how to command attention without saying much. One trim, one Instagram video, and the world stopped. But this isn't just about looks. It's about legacy. Jason knows how to control the narrative, and with one simple act, he got fans talking, speculating, and counting down the days until his next appearance. The beard might be gone, but the legend is just getting started. And if this reveal was shocking, just wait until you see what Jason does next. It wasn't a movie trailer. It wasn't a red carpet scandal. It was a man and a razor, and the sound of millions of jaws hitting the floor. Jason Momoa stood in front of a camera, gripping an electric trimmer. His hair was wild, his expression conflicted, and then, without warning, he brought the blade to his face. With one slow stroke, his legendary beard began to fall away. He looked into the lens and muttered, "God damn it. I hate it." That was all it took. Within minutes, chaos erupted online. Twitter exploded. TikTok users were posting side-by-sides. Instagram stories lit up. One phrase trended across all platforms like wildfire. Jason Momoa without beard. Some fans were stunned. Others were in denial. People started asking, is that really him? Did he lose a bet? Others joked that they needed therapy. The reactions weren't just emotional, they were intense. For many, Jason's beard wasn't just facial hair. It was iconic. It was part of who he was. A symbol of strength, rebellion, and that raw, untamed charisma that made him stand out in Hollywood. So when he shaved it all off, unannounced, in a casual Instagram clip, it felt like the internet had collectively lost a part of itself. But what fans didn't know at that moment was that the beard was just the beginning, because behind the shave was something far bigger, far more mysterious. And it had everything to do with one of the biggest sci-fi franchises of the decade. At first glance, it might have seemed like just another celebrity makeover. But Jason Momoa's clean-shaven face wasn't some spur-of-the-moment change. This wasn't a midlife crisis or a brand deal. This was a transformation with a purpose, and it sent a clear message to every hardcore movie fan watching. Jason didn't just shave his beard for style. He shaved it for Dune Part 3. After 6 years, he's stepping back into the role of Duncan Idaho, a fan-favorite character who, if you remember, met a brutal end in the first Dune film. His death left a mark on the franchise, and fans mourned what they thought was his final appearance. So imagine the shock when Momoa posted that video. Beard gone, face fresh, and eyes locked on the camera as he said, "Only for you, Denis." He was referring to none other than Denis Villeneuve, the visionary director behind the Dune saga. That simple sentence told fans everything. He's returning, and this time, it's going to be different. The beard wasn't just facial hair, it was a signature. And its removal, a silent confirmation. A nod to the fact that Duncan Idaho's story isn't over. In fact, it may have only just begun. And while most people were focused on his jawline, true fans saw the bigger picture. Something major is coming in the Dune universe. But to fully understand how deep this goes, we have to go back to the first time Jason Momoa shaved his beard, and why it caused the same kind of mayhem years ago. Long before this latest transformation set the internet ablaze, Jason Momoa shocked fans in a similar way, back in 2019. And once again it was for Dune. That year, he took on the role of Duncan Idaho for the first time. But there was just one catch. Director Denis Villeneuve had a very specific vision for the character, and it didn't include a beard. For most actors, shaving might be no big deal. But for Jason, it was personal. His beard had become a part of his identity. It wasn't just part of his image. It was his brand. From Khal Drogo in Game of Thrones to Aquaman, that signature look had helped define his rugged, untamed persona. So when Dennis asked him to shave it off, it wasn't a small ask. Jason later told Newsweek that Dennis was actually nervous to bring it up. "I think he felt a little nervous asking me that," Jason said. "But it just felt like, no one's ever asked me to do that." And still he agreed. Because he trusted the vision. He respected the role. And he knew that sometimes, transformation is necessary for greatness. It was a bold move, but one that paid off. Duncan Idaho became one of the most beloved characters in Dune, Part 1. And now, years later, the beard is gone again. And the fandom knows what that means. But in between those two moments, 2019 and now, something strange happened. A fake-out that had fans fooled and triggered a frenzy all its own. Before the real shave broke the internet, there was a moment in 2022 when fans thought it had already happened. But what they didn't realize was, they were falling for a hoax. In November of that year, a wave of images hit social media, all showing Jason Momoa clean-shaven. And not just trimmed, completely beardless. The photos spread like wildfire across X, Instagram and Reddit. Fans were stunned. The reaction was instant. Memes erupted. Side-by-side comparisons filled comment sections. One viral post even compared the beardless Jason to Kirstie Alley. Another joked he looked like Steve Bannon in drag. And one tweet, dripping with sarcasm, read, "Momoa without his beard. Sorry to all women in advance." People weren't just confused, they were convinced. The internet buzzed with questions. When did he shave it? Why wasn't it bigger news? Was he changing his image forever? But then, the truth came out. The images were fake, expertly edited, digitally altered, completely fabricated. Jason hadn't shaved at all. It was all an illusion, powered by clever Photoshop and a little internet hysteria. Some fans laughed it off. Others felt duped. But one thing became crystal clear. The world had a lot of feelings about Jason Momoa's beard. And that's what made the 2025 shave so powerful. Because this time it wasn't a prank. This time the razor was real. And the emotional reaction from fans, just as intense if not more. But it also raised a deeper question. Why are people so obsessed with Jason's beard in the first place? It's just facial hair, or at least that's what some people say. But when it comes to Jason Momoa, the beard has never been just a beard. From the moment he stepped onto the screen as Khal Drogo in Game of Thrones, that thick, untamed beard became a symbol. Not just of masculinity or rugged charm, but of power, rebellion, and raw, unfiltered presence. Whether he was riding dragons, wielding tridents as Aquaman, or surviving the wild and frontier, Jason's beard became part of his identity. It wasn't a style choice. It was a signature. And fans connected with that. To some, the beard represented strength. To others, it was about authenticity. That Jason Momoa never looked like a cookie-cutter Hollywood heartthrob. He looked wild, real, different. The beard was a challenge to the polished, plastic image of traditional fame. So when he shaved it off, even for a role, it hit hard. For many fans, it felt like seeing Superman without his cape. Familiar, but not the same. Some adored the fresh-faced look, calling it bold and refreshing. Others called it the end of an era. The reactions weren't just dramatic. They were deeply personal. Because Jason isn't just a movie star. To many people, he's the modern icon of strength, freedom, and fearlessness. And that beard, it became the visual proof of all of it. But now that it's gone, again, the focus has shifted. Fans aren't just talking about the shave. They're talking about why it happened. And what it means for Jason's mysterious return to one of the biggest sci-fi franchises of all time. Jason Momoa didn't just shave for the sake of a role. He shaved to step back into a universe that left his character dead, and fans devastated. In Dune, Part 1, Duncan Idaho was a loyal warrior, a scene-stealing swordmaster, and one of the most beloved characters in the film. His death was brutal, selfless, and final, or so we thought. Because now, Jason's dramatic transformation hints at something fans didn't dare hope for. Duncan Idaho is coming back. But how? In the Dune books by Frank Herbert, Duncan's story doesn't end with his death. In fact, it continues in the most mind-bending way. He's brought back, not once but multiple times, as a Gola, a kind of resurrected clone with fragments of the original person's memories. Each version of Duncan wrestles with who he is, what he remembers, and whether he's truly alive, or just a copy. So the big question now isn't just how Momoa is returning, it's which version of Duncan Idaho we're about to meet. Will it be a flashback? A full resurrection? A new version of Duncan struggling with identity? The clean-shaven look could be a subtle visual cue, a way to show that this isn't the same Duncan we once knew. It's a fresh face for a familiar soul, re-entering a war-torn galaxy where nothing is what it seems. And with Timothée Chalamet, Zendaya, Florence Pugh, Austin Butler, and now Jason Momoa all returning, Dune. Part 3 is shaping up to be a cinematic event, one where death is just the beginning and every detail, even a beard, tells a deeper story. The hype is real. The theories are wild. And the return of Duncan Idaho might just be the twist that takes the franchise into truly legendary territory. In a world where celebrities constantly fight for attention, Jason Momoa just reminded everyone how to steal the spotlight, with nothing more than a razor and a reason. One quick swipe, one bold choice, and suddenly he wasn't just trending. He was everywhere. Not because he released a new movie. Not because of a scandal. But because he let go of something fans thought was untouchable. His beard. And yet, what's most powerful isn't the loss of hair. It's what it represents. Jason's transformation is a reminder that reinvention isn't weakness. It's strategy. He knows how to use silence, surprise, and subtlety better than most. With a single change in appearance, he didn't just promote a role. He created buzz, mystery, and momentum. Now, fans aren't just talking about his beard. They're talking about Dune. They're speculating, theorizing, and watching that Instagram video over and over, trying to read between the lines. Jason Momoa didn't need a press tour to dominate the headlines. He didn't need a dramatic speech or a viral stunt. All he needed was a clean shave. And the internet did the rest. And if a beard trim can do this much damage, just imagine what's coming when he returns to the big screen as Duncan Idaho. The beard may be gone, but Jason, he's never been more powerful. Thanks for watching.